Here's everything you have to know if you're coming to Universal this holiday season. Well, good morning from Islands of Adventure here in Orlando. Although it is currently Halloween and we are all thinking about trick-or-treating, and it is actually Halloween weekend while I'm here filming this in Islands of Adventure, the theme parks here in Florida have already decided that Christmas is now, and Christmas is starting now. So we are here at Universal today to break down all of Universal's holiday offerings and everything you have to know if you are coming to Universal this holiday season to have the best trip of your life. So let's jump into it. Now, the first thing that's very important to know is the actual dates of the holiday season here in Universal. Now, the holiday season is actually starting a little bit later this year than it started last year. It is starting on November 17th and runs till the end of the year. Now, Universal in the past has not done anything for New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, and there is nothing planned at this time. But that does not mean that Universal won't be open. Universal is open 365 days a year, 7 days a week. So if you are coming on Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, or New Year's Day, Universal is going to be open. And both parks here at the Universal Resort offer holiday offerings. It's not just Islands of Adventure or just the Universal side. Both sides have holiday offerings for no additional cost. There is no special party, nothing like that. Now, there's add-on things you can add onto your trip here, but if you want to see the holiday parades, the holiday shows, it is all part of your day admission ticket. Now, we're going to be starting our day here at Islands of Adventure and specifically going to Seuss Landing. Seuss Landing and Grinchmas, which is what goes on in Seuss Landing during the holidays, is a huge part of the Christmas celebration here in the Universal Resort. And even though it's not Halloween yet, Halloween Horror Nights isn't even over yet. But Universal decided Christmas is now, we are putting our Christmas decorations up, and I respect that. So we are going to head over to Seuss Landing so I can show you guys everything that goes on over there, because there is a lot. So it is completely decked out for Christmas or Grinchmas here in Seuss Landing. Now, there are two big offerings here in Seuss Landing that everyone wants to do during the holidays, and that is the Hula Day Spectacular, which is a stage show with all of the Who's as they tell the story of how the Grinch stole Christmas. Now, that happens throughout the day here at Islands of Adventure. You do not have to have a special ticket for that, but do be warned that during the busier time of the year, especially if you're coming during the week of Thanksgiving, the week of Christmas, or the week after Christmas, those lines fill up fast. And a lot of people will start waiting for the next show time, sometimes half an hour to an hour before showtime, to get really good seats. In addition to the Hula Day Spectacular, you can also meet the Grinch, which I know has become very, very popular in the past few years. I know a lot of videos of it have went up on TikTok, and it has become super popular to come here and meet the Grinch. Now, this is Jim Carrey's live action version of the Grinch. You can actually meet the storybook version of the Grinch pretty much every day here in Seuss Landing, 365 days a year. But if you want to meet the Jim Carrey version of the Grinch, you have to come here during the holidays, during Grinchmas, and you can meet him here. Now, there are a few ways to meet the live action Grinch. In past years, they have offered just a regular standby queue to meet the Grinch in the larger gift shop here in Seuss Landing. Actually, last year they moved it to a virtual queue because of the popularity, so I assume that this year is also probably going to be a virtual queue. Now, this is not a virtual queue that you do like earlier in the day before park opening like you might do at Disney. This virtual queue, you actually have to be in the park. There is a QR code to scan out front of the gift shop that you have to scan to get in part of the virtual queue. So if you are planning on coming to meet the Grinch, make sure you are here at park opening to be able to do that. If that's something you're not interested in doing, there are two other ways that you can meet the Grinch. Now you do have to pay for both of these ways to meet the Grinch, but it is much, much easier. Now if you are coming for the holiday season and you want to meet the Grinch, and you don't want to wait in that long line, but you have younger and little kids with you, I recommend going with the Grinch and Friends character breakfast. That used to take place over in Circus McGurkus, but there's construction going on in that restaurant right now. So actually this year it is going to take place over in Confisco Grill, over in like the front of Islands of Adventure. Now that is something you have to pay for, and you have to reserve it in advance, and it starts at $58.99 for adults and $32.99 for kids. With that breakfast, you are going to get some of your more basic and just usual breakfast offerings, but you're also going to get a lot of holiday breakfast offerings as well. You're not only going to be able to meet the Grinch, there's also going to be Who's all dressed up for the holiday season, out and about, greeting and coming to your table. It's a very fun experience, especially if you want to meet the Grinch. Now there is one other option if you want to meet the Grinch, but you do have to pay for it. Here in Universal, they do offer a holiday tour during November and December, but we're gonna talk about that a little bit later in the video. Now, as you walk around Seuss Landing during the holiday season, you are going to run into a lot of fun friends, including all of the Who's all dressed up in their holiday best, ready to greet you, sing to you, play games with you. They are so fun during the holidays. You'll also be able to see them in that Hula Day Spectacular that in previous years has gone on in the Blue Man Group building, which actually used to be the Nickelodeon building. I'm assuming that's probably where it's going to be this year as well, but there will be signage up here in Seuss Landing telling you where to go. And of course, you've got to come back into Seuss Landing to just look at the decorations. They completely deck out this land in holiday decorations, and if you take a good look at the wreaths and at the Christmas trees, you are going to see some of our favorite Seuss characters. There are even some new Christmas trees that came out in the past couple years up front that are some of the new like versions of holiday decor that they can actually program to have shows on them. So make sure to come over here at night to get a good look at those Christmas trees and the little show that goes on them. Now our next stop on our holiday tour of what you have to know here in Universal is here in Hogsmeade. Now I know every day Hogsmeade has a tendency to kind of look like Christmas due to the snow, but during the holiday season, Universal brings out all of the Christmas decorations and Hogsmeade completely changes. Now there's a couple different Christmas offerings here in Hogsmeade that you have to know about. First off, there is a show on Hogwarts Castle every evening starting at dusk all the way till park closing called The Magic of Christmas at Hogwarts Castle. That's a mouthful. We gotta have shorter names here, Universal. But that is a really awesome projection show over on Hogwarts Castle that is themed around the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, around Christmas, around the Harry Potter franchise. It is an awesome show worth watching. Now, it is important to remember there is no seating like there will be for the Hula Day Spectacular. This is not in a show building, it's just projections on the castle. So you are gonna have to kind of line up ahead of time. There are no set times for that. Like I said, it just kind of starts at dusk and runs on the castle every so many minutes. Now, it gets busy. It gets very, very, very busy in that area. That is a very tight area that doesn't fit a lot of people. So I always recommend show up ahead of time. Do not wait until 30 minutes before park close to try to watch that because it might not end well for you. I've had that experience, so don't be like me. Go early, watch it earlier as soon as it starts to get dark. In the fall and winter time, it does start to get dark about 6:30 here in Florida, so start heading over there about 6:30, 7 o'clock. That way you're able to watch it. Now there's a lot of places to watch it. My favorite place to watch it is on the bridge as you're making your way into Jurassic Park, or if you're making your way out of Jurassic Park into Hogsmeade. That is going to be one of your best views. Now this is just a projection show. There are no fireworks, but it is definitely worth watching. I was actually really sad last year. There used to be more versions of the show that Universal no longer shows, so I'm really happy that we're getting that back this Christmas. While we're talking about the castle, you've got to go watch the Frog Choir. Yes, I said Frog Choir. There's a frog choir that goes out and sings every day here in Universal, but during the holiday season, they come out and do Christmas songs. It's some actual like regular modern day Christmas songs, but mainly Christmas songs from the wizarding world of Harry Potter. It's a very unique touch that I love that they added to Hogsmeade. Now, more and more Christmas decorations will be popping up all over the park. I just saw we're in Cafe 4. There was some like Avengers Marvel themed Christmas decorations, and a lot of the gift shops have them as well. So throughout that whole area, including the front of the park, more Christmas decorations are going to pop up. Now, as far as actual offerings goes, that is pretty much going to be everything you're going to see on the Islands of Adventure side. But Universal has 2 parks. So we are going to park hop over to the Universal Orlando side and show you guys everything that goes on that side, and there's a lot. Now, the Islands of Adventure side is only the beginning of the holiday offerings here at Universal. The Universal side has just as much, but honestly, I think more. So let's go head inside. Are you guys coming? Come on. So one of my favorite things here at Universal during the holidays that they offer is the tribute store. Now, many videos ago, back in like August or September, we went and looked at the Halloween Horror Nights tribute store here on the Universal side. Well, they also do the same thing for Christmas. It's announced it's coming back this year and will be opening November 17th with the rest of the holiday offerings, with annual pass holder previews on November 9th. Now, there has been no announcement on where it will open. It's very possible that it could open in the Halloween Horror Nights store like it did last year, so that's over in the streets of New York. It could open up in the same place. But they did remove the Jurassic Park 30th anniversary store here in the streets of Hollywood, so it is very possible it could open there. And with the tribute store opening, I'm sure we will see even more Earl the Squirrel merchandise and just Earl the Squirrel everything. This year, it looks like the merchandise does have a female squirrel with it, so I'm going to assume that's Earl's girlfriend. And I hope we learn her name soon. Now, if you have not been to Universal during the holiday season, you may be asking yourself, who is Earl the Squirrel? Earl the Squirrel is an original character here in the Universal Resort in Florida, and he was actually based off of a real squirrel. Years ago, dated right around like 2015, Earl the Squirrel was a real squirrel that lived in the Christmas decorations here at Universal, and when the teammates were trying to put them up, they kept having strands of lights going out, different ornaments being pushed off the tree, and just chaos. And they found out that a squirrel was living in their tree, and no matter how many times they tried to get rid of him, he just continued to stay in the tree. So they made him part of the holiday season here at Universal and named him Earl. So he is Earl the Squirrel. He has his own merchandise. He actually has a character you can meet, and he's a really cool original character, very similar to Little Boo for Halloween Horror Nights. Now, Universal no longer has a daytime parade. I believe the one that used to run ended a couple years ago. But during the holiday season, Universal has a holiday parade with Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade inspired balloons. Many of them are actually made by the same company that makes the ones in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Now, there's a wide variety of balloons from Madagascar, Minions, Shrek, a bunch of the DreamWorks characters. It is a very, very, very cool parade. Definitely worth watching, and of course, Santa Claus is in it. Now, in previous years, that parade route has started over in the New York City side near the horror makeup show, has run past Transformers and into like San Diego and then the streets of New York. Now, I always say check your Universal app. the day you come into the park. It's going to show you parade routes. It's going to show you times for the parade, because from year over year, sometimes things change. So download that app and make sure to check. Now, if you want to have the best view for that parade, you're going to want to sit probably in New York City near Jimmy Fallon. There's a big, huge Christmas tree actually where Vamp 69 is right now for Halloween Horror Nights that is absolutely beautiful, and you are going to have this wonderful, breathtaking view of the parade with all the beauty and like Christmas just vibe of New York City here in Universal Orlando. Now, Hogsmeade is not the only side of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter that receives a holiday overlay. Diagon Alley here on the Universal side does as well. So back in Diagon Alley, Celestina Warbeck and the Banshees will have a holiday show. So they'll have brand new outfits, they'll sing some different songs, some songs from the Christmas and holiday season in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and you'll be able to catch that back on the stage area near Gringotts in Diagon Alley. Diagon Alley will be completely dressed up in holiday decor, so it is worth going back there and grabbing a frozen butterbeer, maybe a warm one if we finally start to get cold weather the closer we get to Thanksgiving and Christmas, and strolling through and seeing Diagon Alley dressed up for the holidays. Now, if you are interested in all of the shows and all of the offerings I've been talking about in this video, you're gonna wanna listen to this. Universal has a Universal Holiday Tour that is a paid ticketed tour here during the holiday season. It starts at $79.99 and the dates sell out fast. Like a bunch of dates in November and a bunch of dates in December are already sold out. If you're an annual pass holder, you are going to receive $10 off of that ticketed price depending on what tier of pass you have. With that, you're going to be able to basically do all of the holiday offerings without having to wait in line and with reserved viewing. So you're going to be able to watch the Macy's parade, but you don't have to wait. They actually have a sectioned off area for you to go and watch it. You're going to be able to watch the Hula Day Spectacular over on the Islands of Adventure side, and they're actually going to reserve your seats, and you have the best seats in the house. And then after the show, you get to do this little one-on-one interview with the Who's. You're going to get your own personal meet and greet with the Grinch. They're going to take you into an area where you're going to have some access to some food and some special holiday treats, and the Grinch is going to be walking around meeting everybody. So that's a really good option as well, like I was talking about earlier in the video, if you want to meet the Grinch but you don't want to do the virtual queue and you don't want to do the breakfast. You're also going to get a reserved viewing after the park closes of the holiday projection show on the Hogwarts Castle. And not only are you going to be able to meet the Grinch, you are going to get a one-on-one meeting with Santa Claus. Something new this year, I don't think it's been offered previous years. They have, I'm gonna read it here, priority access to one pre-selected attraction. So I don't really know what's gonna come with that. We'll see. I'm definitely gonna be doing the holiday tour this year. But if you wanna do any of those things and kind of wanted to have it where somebody gets you to and from each thing, you don't miss anything, you don't have to wait in lines, you don't have to camp out spots, and you just want to have an enjoyable evening and also enjoy some snacks and some treats and some drinks, the holiday tour is definitely a must do. But get on the Universal site now because those dates are selling out fast. Now, you do have to have a 2-park 1-day ticket to be able to do that. It's not like some of the like Disney parties where you can buy a ticket for just that party and that gets you in the door. This is an additional add-on price to your ticket. So there's gonna be a few other things going on, some of them more limited than others. So on the stage right beside Rip Ride Rocket, Mannheim Steamroller is going to be coming for a very few select dates in December. Those dates are December 2nd, 3rd, 9th, and 10th. I'm also very hopeful that out in City Walk, we will get Mistletoe Pines again, which was like a walk-through tree experience. It was something really fun and free because City Walk is free to do that they've had the past couple years, but they haven't said anything about it this year, so I'm hopeful that it does come back. Obviously, outside of decorations and parades and shows, there will be all kinds of holiday treats, merchandise, characters. There are so many fun things. So of course, we're gonna be coming to check them all out when they hit the parks. So those are going to be the main holiday offerings here at the Universal Resort this holiday season. Now, each one of the hotels here on property also kind of do a little bit of something. So if you're planning on staying at a Universal owned and operated resort, make sure to check with your hotel and see what they're offering, because it's a little bit different each year. As the holiday decorations continue to go up here in Universal, we'll be coming back, checking in, and kind of just getting an update, especially when the tribute store opens. Now, I did notice when I walked past the Halloween Horror Nights tribute store, they now have a sign up for the holiday store where you can be in one of Earl's postcards, which is very similar to the comic books they did this year, and your photo will be added to the tribute store. If you're a local or you're here on vacation and that's something you're interested in, it's available now. You can check it out at the Halloween Horror Nights tribute store. It was a great day today, checking out everything that's coming for the holiday season. I know Christmas is still very far away and it's not even Halloween yet, but because Halloween starts in basically August here in Orlando, by the time Halloween actually does hit, I'm already ready for Christmas. So as time goes on, we'll continue to go to the theme parks, we'll continue to check in to see what's going on, and then obviously covering it all when it does happen. If you liked this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and ring that notification bell so that you are notified every time I post a new video. Make sure to like the video, and I will see you guys next time.